Okay, dear good morning, dear all students. Today we are going to take the first chapter, the remaining part that not yet been completed. Last class what the questions are given you, I got the reply from your sides. Only 30 or 40% students are attending the questions. The doubts what you have to solve it after this completion of class. Also the WhatsApp whenever sending the questions, you have to go through with the visible letters. Another complaint you have that the sound is not audible to you. Why the sound is not audible at your end? Exactly, I think that you are not using your earphone. Try to use the earphone and try to listen. If anything is not audible once again within the points, you may ask for a telephonic call or you may take the help of the WhatsApp. So let us see the remaining part of the first chapter is we have to go through the different laws. The laws will be based on the Ohm's law, or you can say Kirchhoff's current law, Kirchhoff's voltage law, have the laws of application for the design of simple circuit. Before that, you should have an idea regarding the concept of a sum. You should have an idea regarding the passive and active components, about their concept. One is, remember, we know that one is called the passive component, other is called the active component. What are the passive components? Those components, by help of those components, the passive and active, we can design a circuits. Electric circuit can be designed by help of passive and active components. Those passive components we are going to use to design the verification of Ohm's law, Kirchhoff's current law, Kirchhoff's voltage law. Simply I am telling you. Later we go one after another. Let us see the passive component have no self-energy source. They have to put their own applications by the help of their active components. So you can see that all the passive components are called resistors, or you can say capacitors, or you can say inductors, or you can say like this number of things that are all connecting wire. They cannot show their own activities because they have no energy sources. But active component have the energy sources. You can say the voltage source, or you can say current source, or you can say power source, or you may be the transformer, or you may go through a transistor. These are the case of the active components. With the help of this component, we have to go through the concept of them. Actually, what is the concept of current now? Just to see one from the concept of current. Concept of electric current. Remember now. What is the electric current and how we can take the brief description regarding that? We know that when the metals, we know that metals are good conductors. Metals are free of electrons are there. But inside the metal there is a flow of electrons. How it can take place? If the metallic conductors will be connected by means of a connecting wire, there must be, you can say, there is a establishment of electric currents. Initially, whenever the potential of the both conducting part, the connector wire, we are not connecting two conductors, mostly connected by means of connecting wire. So we are connecting, then we are not supplying any voltages. In that case, what happened? Initially, the metals inside the electrons inside the metals are in random in motions, and they are vibrating each other, and they have to collide with each other. But what does it mean? To make it uniformly velocities, so that all the both ends will be connected by a source, so that the electrons will try to move from one end to other ends. Then due to that movement of charges, what are the charges? We can say the quantity of a current driven to quantity of a charge divided by T. Let us see, I am telling you, Q is the quantity of a charge, T is the time taken. Suppose Q amount of a charge from one end of a metallic conductor going to shift to another. Then that is called the time taken is T. In that case, the current will constitute inside a metallic wire. But in case of electrolytic, in case of sulfuric acid, in case of copper sulfate solution, in case of all these cases, what happened? We have to take the formation of ions. Positive and ions will be constitute the electric current here. Here remember, the flow of electrons constitute the electric current, and the electrons are flowing from negative end to positive end. Whereas electric current is flows from positive to negative. It should be measured by the unit ampere. In SI unit, the unit of current is ampere. Somebody can write down how can you see 1 ampere current is going to establish inside a metallic conductor, inside any conductive path. 1 ampere is the amount of current flows when 1 coulomb of a charge is shifted for 1 second from one end to other end. Let us see now. I can say 1 ampere. Similarly, I can say 1 coulomb divided by 1 second. So this implies I can say Q is equal to IT. You have to write down in block diagrams. Q is equal to IT is called the quantity of a charge is equal to product of the amount of current into time taken. So that remember, similarly, this is the concept of electric currents. This charge, remember, sometimes what happened, wherever I told you from the beginning, the connecting wire, two metallic conductor has been connected. But remember, at that moment, some electrons are flowing from one end to other end with a specific directions. Let you remember, suppose you can say quantity of a charge is created N into E. What is the E now? E is called the charge of one electron, where N is called the number of electrons. If the number of electron into the charge of one electron going to multiply, to get back the quantity of charge is there. So how can you get the charge of one electron? We cannot say how many electrons are flowing at a time from one end to other end. Hence you can see that the charge of one, remember now, to establish 1 coulomb of charge, 6.025 10 to the power 18 number of electrons are flowing. These number of electrons are flowing from one end to other ends to establish 1 coulomb amount of charge. So remember, 1 electron, the quantity of charge, rate of change, we can say 1 by you can say 6.025 10 to the power 18. That is called coulomb, which is called, if you calculate this one, you get back that 1.6 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb of charge is created. So remember now, 1 electron possesses a charge of 1.6 10 to the power minus coulomb. Then basically we are giving it in minus sign because of, remember, it is already negative charge particle. It is a negative charge particle. Proton also have a positive charge particle, positive, then that is called plus 1.6 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb, you can say in case of protons. In case of electron, we are telling minus 1.6 in 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb establishes for one electron to move. That is the charge of one electron. Similarly, then you see what is the concept of potential now common. This current is called the active component, and Q is equal to IT, that you have to remember. Similarly, Q is equal to NE. So if somebody can write down I is equal to Q by T, or you can write down NE by T, already I have told you, that is called in ampere. NE, where E is equal to already 1.6 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb in case of with having a negative charge, because charge of one electron. That is the concept of electric currents. One more thing just to see, what is the concept of potential? Concept of potential or potential difference, or you can say electromotive force, or you can say potential difference, all are same thing. This is also one among the active component. It has self energy sources, and we can show its own application without the help of others. Those are called these are the independent, but you can say the passive component are dependent on this the current or potential like that. That is, what is the concept of a potential? We know that suppose Q amount of charge is going to shifted from one end to other end. In that, remember, you can see that some work has to be done. Which application of a force. Let us see now, we can say, so that in mechanics I have told you, in physics, W is equal to Fs. Whenever you are doing some work, at the same moment you are applying the force and shifted things from one end to other ends. That is called, you can say, a work energy, but work is called the product of force into displacement. Similarly, some force is required to shift one coulomb of the charge, quantity of charge, from one end to other end. Let us remember, suppose the quantity of work is required W. Then you can say, with this, how can the quantity of charge is shifted? The application of a force, analogous to the force, which is called V. Remember, force we are telling in mechanics, potential we are telling in electric circuits. Then you see, remember here you can see, whenever V volt amount of external voltage or the voltage you are supplying, then Q quantity of charge is going to shift from one end to other ends. I can write down this one mathematically. You can write down W is equal to, you can say, V into Q, V into Q. This is the, you can say, this is your writing. Or you can say V is equal to, you can say, Q by V is equal to, I can say, W by Q, you can say. What is that? The potential is nothing but the quantity of force applied to shift the q amount of charge, due to which you can say w amount of energy has been possessed. So W is equal to dq writing. That means V is equal to W by Q. I can say 1 joule is the unit of this one SI unit, or 1 coulomb. Or somebody can joule coulomb to the power minus 1 is the unit of the potential. So remember, potential for SI unit, what we are telling? You are telling that is of the volt. So we can say 1 volt is equal to 1 joule per 1 coulomb. Somebody can say like that. This is, remember, whenever we are throwing something, the existence, suppose I am throwing this duster, go to upward, it will come to downward due to gravitational force. Similarly, remember, water is flowing from higher level to lower level. But wherever the levels are equal, can the water flow from the one can to the tank? Never. Then similarly, you can say between the wire in a conductive path, both end has a potential. So what is the potential difference? Higher potential minus lower potential is called the potential difference. So always remember, as the doctors in normal temperature example you take, he going to measure the temperature of a touching to a patient. He feel that the patient is feeling hot. What does it mean? The quantity of heat flows from the higher temperature object to the lower temperature object. Similarly, the potential also going to flow. Remember, creates the electric current to flow. For the case, you can see higher potential to lower potential. Let us see. Remember, here you can see. So potential difference, or you can say potential or electromotive force, all can be measured by the unit volt. 1 volt is equal to, remember always, 1 joule per 1 coulomb. We are telling that you have to remember. So here you can say the potential difference is between the conductor of both ends can be distinguished with respect to the which one? By the formula you can say W by Q. I can see. Let us see now. One more thing is there. To establish the Ohm's law, Kirchhoff current law, voltage law, what we have, or you can say Joule's law, like this. Always another concept is here. Let us see the concept of resistance. Remember one more thing here. Concept of resistance. Resistance is the value of the resistor. Resistor is one of the component, passive component, which has no fixed polarity, also no energy sources it has. That means the resistor has to dissipate the powers and the obstacle to flow of electric current. So the breakage of electric circuits will not be takes place if you take the care of this one. So what is this actually? What is the concept of this one? We can see that resistance are the obstacles that can be created, which depends upon the nature of a material. Let it be known whether your conductor is made up by aluminium, made up by silver, made up by copper, different of the what metals you have. Each and every has the resistances. Let us see the resistance is always remain. That is a function of, I can say, the length of the conductor, area of a cross section, and the nature of a material. Remember, and also you can say temperature. Here remember, resistance value depend upon the length of the conductor, also depend upon the area of the cross section, depend upon the temperature. What does it mean exactly? You can see that they are directly related. But remember, when resistance value is increasing with respect to increase of length, that is called directly proportional. Similarly, resistance value is increasing if the area of cross section is decreasing. That is called inversely proportional. The resistance of a conductor is directly proportional to length of the conductor, and resistance directly inversely proportional to area of cross section. Similarly, the resistance value depend upon the rise of temperature. The temperature rising, similarly you can say resistance value increasing. But some more cases are there. Just to remember, also the resistance value depend upon the nature of the material. By which material the conductor has been designed. Maybe copper, maybe aluminium, maybe silver, maybe anything what you have. Let's remember, accordingly remember. So this implies I can say R is equal to rho into L by A. I can say L by A. That is called, remember, the resistance of a wire. The resistance of a wire is equal to this rho, Greek letter rho, is called the specific resistance. Specific resistance and resistance are different. Resistance, the obstacle to the flow of currents, whereas who is creating the resistance? This resistivity of a material is creating the resistances that opposing to the flow of currents or limiting to the flow of current. So somebody can tell you that this resistance can be measured by the unit of ohm. Remember, ohm is the SI unit of resistance. Whereas I can say rho is equal to R into A. divided by L also I can say, divided by L. Look at here. That means the resistivity value is directly proportional to area of cross section and inversely proportional to length of conductor. Where R is the constant, R is the resistance of the conductor. That you can say this can be measured by, you can say ohm meter square divided by meter. 1 meter cancel. You are getting ohm meter is the unit of ohm. Unit of resistivity. So resistivity creates this resistance of a conductor, where resistance is taking its opposition capabilities, obstacle to the electrical circuits. So remember the flow of current will be limited by this value. So accordingly, remember you will come to know that so this ohm meter is the SI unit of resistivity. Here remember one is the resistance is the opposing the flow of current. The who is allowing the flow of current? We remember the conductance is allowing, influencing the flow of current to go to the forward. Hence remember the conductance is equal to reciprocal for resistance. That means you can say 1 by ohm I can say, or I can say ohm inverse is the unit of conductance, or specific conductance also you can say, or I can say it is mho, or you can say it is Siemens. These are the units we are using for measurement of conductance. We are having all these parameters, for conductor have all these parameters, remember. If you have some idea regarding all these things, easily you can design a circuit and you have to analyze yourself what the expansion is going on. Let you visualize yourself. Conductive resistivity is creating resistance. So who is allowing this conductance now? The conductivity allowing. So that I can say the conductivity is equal to, I can say 1 by resistivity. So resistivity and conductivity both are opposite to each other, whereas remember resistivity and you can say conductivity both are opposite to each other. Let us see now if you want the product of this conductivity and resistivity, you get 1. This implies conductivity into resistivity is equal to 1. And you can similar I can say R into G is equal to also 1. Product of resistance along with the conductance is 1. Product of the resistivity along with the conductivity also becomes 1. So let you see now, accordingly you can see the resistance unit is ohm. What is the unit of conductance? Conductance unit is I have told you mho, MHO. Or the resistivity unit is ohm meter. What is the unit of conductivity? Ohm meter inverse. You have to write down yourself according to SI unit. Somebody may ask you like that. Let us see accordingly. I can have to tell you like that. Just after this one, we just these are the concept of current, potential, and you can say resistance. Resistance value is actually which factor they are depending. Let us suppose somebody will tell you the resistance value find the if a resistance having a resistance of 4 ohm, resistance of a wire is said to be 4 ohm. Let us remember this resistance how much it will be if the conductor is double itself. What does it mean? If the conductor is double itself, L converted to L by 2. Remember L converted to L by 2, whereas A converted to, you can say that is called, what is this area come, remember the length is double, the conductor is double itself, then what will be the resistance? In that case remember it will 2 times of the area of cross section. Remember here, if length is half, area becomes double. If the length is twice, area becomes half. Follow? Then if you remember, that means you can say length become L by 2 and this is called A is equal to 2A. I can say like this, rho is equal to, here you can say R is equal to rho into L by A. Initial, this is the equation 1. Similar I can say the R dash is equal to new resistance of our rho into L1 by A1. I can write down rho into L by 2 divided by 2A. So this is equal, I can say 1 by 4 of which one? R, which is called R dash. You remember, this is the initial resistance, this is the final resistance. According to if the conductor is double itself, then you can say 1 by 4 of 4 you are writing, which is called 1 ohm. Look at here. Initial resistance is 4 ohm, become only 1 ohm. If the conductor become double itself, don't do that. Double itself, length will be double, that is not exactly. Length will be half. Area of cross section will be double. Accordingly, we have to write down some numerical problems are there based upon this laws of resistance, which is called R is equal to rho by A, depending upon the conductance, conductivity like that. I will send you all the questions on the WhatsApp and you have to give me the answer reply on that. Let us see one more thing. With the concept of this voltage, current and resistances, you have to remember There first law is called, remember, that is called Ohm's law. This gives you the exact relationship between the voltage and current. And remember, it is this law is only valid for the ohmic resistance. Ohmic resistance means remember, the temperature is at constant, and so that there is a relationship between the voltage and current takes place. But the temperature is, suppose if I particular, we are going to take it in the curve identification graph, I can show you in detail. You see now. For this, you draw the circuit like that. Let you see, you can draw it. Let it see a load resistor. Let it say load resistors on which, remember, let it be connected by means of a voltmeter. I am connected by a voltmeter. Let it write down with B. B is the voltmeter parallel with this resistor, load resistor. Let you remember, I am going to take it with a switch. Okay? Then you remember, you have to connect with a ammeter. Let's remember this is called the, you give the polarity minus plus, then you can say minus plus. Minus plus, this is minus plus. Why remember? Let us see after this one is called ammeter to take it. This is the ammeter. I am taking this ammeter. Then accordingly, if the battery is going to supplies, let it be remember also in other way you have to connect like this. Easily you can go so better the circuit like that. So easy way remember, first of all let you take a potential. Okay? Let this is the potential. One is called the plus, other is called the minus polarities. Let it be connected with a rheostat. The rheostat is a variable resistor, RH symbolized. Let the battery, the number of cells are there, composite of cells is called battery. Let it be connected like that. Let remember I am going to pointer here with having a switch. Let the switch be K here. Okay? Let it be remember I am going to connect it with a ammeter. Remember I told you ammeter polarity depend upon this polarity. It is minus now, it is also minus. Then plus. Follow? Then you see take it away with a load resistor. Let a load resistor I am taking like that, which is called R or RL you can say. Then remember you connect this load resistor by means of a voltmeter. I told you according to polarity of this one, all polarity depends. This is called minus and a plus. Follow? It is called voltmeter. Then remember, now suppose I have left it like this, can the current establishes? Never, because circuit is open now. Then you connect it. By means of a conductive path, I have connected the composite of cells set to the batteries. A rheostat is connected. Rheostat is in variable resistance. The resistance value change time to time according to this pointer. K is the switch and A is called the ammeter with this polarity you see. Then you can see this is the load resistors on which the voltage can be measured. Then remember this is the along the circuit. This is the circuit diagram of Ohm's law. Simple circuit. Practical verification can be done accordingly. Remember, how can you draw this practical verification? If the potential is applying, then automatically remember at a time whole of the potential battery never be takes place in active. Some part of this, because of you see the rheostat is connected here. Depending upon how much part is connected, you see now it is pointing at this point, it pointed at this point, pointed at this point. Different points they have. If remember it is pointing at this point, this part is taking to active. The rheostat, this part is here, this part is going to be active, other part is inactive. That never will take place because you see that is open in that end. But you see now the switch is connected, if the switch is closed, then and there you see that there is a deflection on the ammeter. There are also deflection in the voltmeter. This is deflection which is called due to existence of a mechanism of deflecting torque and damping torque, and you can say controlling torque are there. Due to that three torques, this will be deflected. Basic or mechanics. Then remember, that indicate you there is a current. How much current is established? That remember, according to Ohm's law, Simon Ohm, who has given the relationship between us, George Simon Ohm, he has given this idea in 1826. Within this, he has given this. On 1826, he has given analysis with respect to relation of, you can say, voltage and current. Let us see, I, the quantity of current I, give the direction. Always current flows from positive polarity to the negative polarity. Electron just opposite each other. So I is directly proportional to V, I can say. Or you can say somebody can write down V also, or you can say somebody can write down V is also directly proportional to I. But you remember, this is the maximum cases that people are following. I is directly proportional to the potential of the batteries. Let the battery value is called V. Then here you can say, so I is equal to, I can say some constant into V, directly proportional to the V. K is the proportionality constant. Then what is the K now? Let us remember that is called the 1 by G of V, you can say, which is called, that is called, remember, this is called G into V. This is called I is equal to K into V. Then remember, if remember, this is called GV, I is equal to G into V. G is called the conductance of the wire. G is the conductance of the wire. So this, remember, I can say, so V by I, remember now, I can place it here. So G is equal to resistance, one reciprocal of resistance V, which is called, you can say I. Remember, I is directly proportional to V here, keeping the temperature constant and all physical condition remains constant. Then Ohm's law takes place. Ohm's law is applicable for ohmic resistance. Second thing, remember that it will be temperature is just constant, and you can say all physical conditions remains constant. Then it will take place. Then I is directly proportional to V. I is equal to K into V. K is called a proportionality constant. Let it remember that K is equal to G I am writing. So let it because G is the proportionality constant, which is nothing but called the one of the parameter of electrical circuit called conductance. Then this conductance is equal to, you know, already I have given you the concept of electric resistance. G is equal to 1 by R. So you can say this implies, I can say like this, the V is equal to IR. V is equal to IR is called the concept of Ohm's law. That indicate you now V is equal to IR. If any two among these three parameters is given to you, or you can find out that you can say V is equal to IR, I is equal to V by R, like this some are there. You have to go through like this. What you have? Let us see, remember, according to this circuit is concerned, we can take it the number of experiment, remember. You take a table like that, in practically, then you measure, you apply the voltages V and I. Suppose I am getting V1, it is I2, V3, I2, then you see V3 and I3. V1, V2, V3, I am taking reading on the voltmeters. Accordingly, I am getting the reading in the ammeter I1, I2, I3, like this number of a second take. Then you see now, accordingly, you can see here that all are remember, if V by I according to Ohm's law is equal to R, always remember V1 by I1, and you can say V2 by I2, and you can say V3 by I3, all are remains constant, called, which is called R. Practically, whenever we go to the lab, whenever after the completion of the online classes, after August onwards, after the with respect to government decision, the practical law, we have to verify this practically. How the voltage is to current in a circuit is going to be always remains constant with taking 10 number of observations, then the mean you are finding to get back the exact values. That I can show you in the practical class. And another thing, remember, I have left here the type of resistor and the color coding of resistor, that is another chapter. That is in practical, I will show you after in the part 2. Let us see now. Then, according to this, remember I told you one more thing. Temperature remains constant, I told you. Temperature and other physical conditions are constant. What does it mean? If temperature remains constant, then you can see that the graph can be Ohm's law will be like this. A graph is, if you remember, I is taken in this axis, V is taken in this axis, then these points I am getting V1, and you can see this is called the, I can say V1, I1, this point is related called V2, I2, then similarly remember it is in ampere or milliampere, it is in volt we are taking, then you can say in a graph you get a straight line. But remember, in case of non-ohmic cases, which are non-ohmic cases, remember now, this vertical axis and the horizontal axis mutually perpendicular, we are doing some more points we are getting, V2, I2, similarly you can see another point V3, I3, all we are combining, we will get a line like this, which line is passing through the origin. That is the graph VI characteristics of the Ohm's law. Let you see here, I told you ohmic resistance and non-ohmic resistance. Which is non-ohmic resistance? Which is where the graph is not like this. You will go to the vacuum tube, go to the semiconductor devices, go to the thermistor, go to any other type like PN junction diode, or I am not showing you this type of graph, Y is equal to Mx power in mathematics. But here remember, Y is equal to Mx means that can be passed through the origin. That can be just the origin. But one more thing, that is not a constant one. Let us see here, the temperature will not be vary. In case of temperature, it become constant. In case of Ohm's law, other physical condition like that always also not changing. Then Ohm's law is valid. Non-ohming case, remember, in that case the graph will be different, not like that. That will be just a chord. That chord type of you will get back with a different type of regions. That will be separate. Let us see now. Accordingly, we know that the resistivity value will be different for different. Whose is lowest in this one? Whose resistivity is lowest? Like this, you can say silver. You may take the example like that. Silver has a resistivity, the lowest resistivity it has. It offers low resistance. Resistivity offers low resistance. Hence, we can see that silver has a symbol of Ag, Argentinium. This is called silver. We are taking it as a best conductor. Why taking it as a best conductor? Because it has low resistivity. The resistivity of silver is around 1.63 10 to the power minus 8. Bujhala? That similarly you can say ohm and meter. Ohm meter. Bujhala? That you can say ohm meter, the unit of this one. But you can say so that is the best conductor. Compared to copper and aluminium, it has this much of resistivity only. But if you remember now, in case of alloys you are going to take, therefore semiconductor also you can say somewhat different like that. The resistivity of silver is very low and it offers the low resistance. Hence we are taking as the best conductor in case of our practical devices. That similarly you can say the standard resistors we have. Those standard resistors we have, they are made of by alloys. Nichrome, manganese, or you can call tungsten, which is, remember, the resistivity is quite large and effectively the change in the temperature of resistance is said to be negligible. Let you see now, accordingly, why so we are taking the ball having a filament, tungsten ball. The tungsten we are using, the which ball? You know the red color ball is coming, that is called incandescent ball. The inside there is a filament. The filament name is made by tungsten. The tungsten we are using there because tungsten has a high melting point and high resistivity. But nichrome we are using as a heating oil. It is an alloy. Nichrome is made up by nickel and chromium. Let us see, remember, this is in this case the nichrome. It has very high resistivity, but it is hence remember that we affect the temperature. It is the increase of the temperature, it increases. Similarly, remember the standard resistors are basically we are taking as a made up by nichrome or you can say manganese or you can constant in which quite large it has. Let us see now. So similarly, all sorts of there. But remember one more thing, how this step is another thing there. One more thing remember. Suppose this is a wire. Okay, let A be the wire. Let remember the initial resistance are not ohm. Follow? Let remember this is the final resistance. Bujhala? This is called the C and D. Bujhala? You can see here that the resistance is RT. It takes place at 0 degree Celsius. It has T degree Celsius. What the difference there? With respect to rising temperature, there is a variation of resistance going to be held. 0 degree converted to T degree Celsius. Changing. So what is the incremental temperature? Delta T, the T minus 0 is equal to T itself. We are taking Kelvin or Celsius. You can know the relationship in thermometry. Let us see now. R0 is the initial resistance. After the temperature is going to be rise, RT is called the final resistance. What is the change in resistance? Change in resistance that is called incremental resistance RT minus R0. Now remember there is a relationship between this and this. What is the relationship? The change in resistance is directly proportional to initial resistance and the change in resistance also directly proportional to change in temperatures. I can write down like this: RT delta T R is directly proportional to initial resistance. Delta R also directly proportional to delta T, or I can say T here because I have taken 0 degree. It's starting from 0 degree. Then you see accordingly, remember I can say here the change in the resistance is equal to already taken in final minus initial is directly proportional to alpha of R0 delta T. Look at here. Two symbols are there. This is called directly proportional. It is called the alpha, which is called the temperature coefficient of the resistance. Followed. So I can say RT minus R0 is converted to the directly proportional. I can convert this one to R0 delta T. I can change it to equal. Let us see equal. Remember why I am changing. RT minus R0 change in resistance value is directly proportional to initial resistance and also directly proportional to change in temperature. So that this alpha is called the proportionality constant, which is called the temperature coefficient of the resistance. Let us see now, temperature coefficient of resistance can be measured by the unit, remember, Kelvin by Celsius minus 1. Remember, we know that RT minus R naught divided by R naught into delta T is called the alpha. So this is called, this is the unit, 1 by Kelvin, Kelvin to the minus 1, 1 by Celsius, Celsius to the minus 1 reciprocal is the unit of a temperature coefficient of resistance. The temperature coefficient of resistance is not always fixed because the conductors are made up by different materials, so that the temperature coefficient is different for a different one. Hence, for silver it is different, for copper it is different. Like that, you can take it the different ways. You can see. Let us see one more thing. With respect to application of this Ohm's law, we can do the number of variety of questions are there. Let us see what is the power. Power is equal to, remember, we know that rate of doing work. This will help in problem. P is equal to W by T, rate of doing work. Whereas I can say W is equal to, I can say P into T. But you see what is P? P is equal to product of this one, VIT. So remember now, by help of this formula, the electrical people are taking your meter reading. That is called VIT, volt, ampere, and T is called, remember, always called time taken. This is how much time you are consuming the dissipating the power. Let us see W is called VI to remember like this. Somebody can write this. So power can be also, I can say VI, which is power is equal to product of voltage into current, which is called, I can say, according to Ohm's law, in place of V I can put IR into I, will get I square R. Or I can say V is equal to VI, that is equal V into, I can say V by R, that is also V square by R. So presently you come to know that P is equal to, remember, P is equal to VI, power is equal to VI, is equal to V square by R, is equal to also I square by R. This is the power. But energy consumption will be different. Suppose for example, we know that 1 watt hour is equal to 36000 joule. So 1 kilowatt hour is equal to, I can say, that is called 3.6 10 to the power 6, 10 to the power 6 joule. 10 to the power 6 joule this is. So remember, this is called 10 to the power 6 joule. This is, remember, you can say also 3.6 megajoule also you can say. So by this unit, the electrical energy can be measured. So remember, 1 kilowatt hour is equal to 1 unit. This is the 1 unit. Then you see now, 1 kilowatt hour is equal to 1 unit. Suppose a bulb you are going to, only in your house you are using a bulb of 100 watt. So a 100 watt bulb is running up to 1 hour, 100 watt. How much you are getting? 100 watt hour rating. Then how much unit you can find out? If a 100 watt bulb is running for 1 hour, we can say the 100 watt hour is the amount of energy consumed. So we convert this into kilowatt hour. So 100 divided by 1000, divided by 1000, that is called kilowatt hour. Follow? 2 0 will be cancelled, we are getting 0.1 kilowatt hour. This unit has been consumed. Suppose 100 watt bulb is on for 12 hours, multiply. Similarly, you can say number of kilowatt hour you have to find out, then number of kilowatt hour is the energy consumed, that into your what amount you are taking, you are paying to the, your reading is showing the energy meter installed in the electrical wiring in your house is only operated by this unit kilowatt hour. So remember one more thing, there are different types of problems are established like that. They will give you the question like this, you will solve yourself. Let us see, suppose others are there. In practically, when you are designing a circuit, at the same moment, a single resistance is not available. Number of type of resistors are available. Suppose you are going to market to purchase 5 ohm resistance. Follow? At that moment, what happened? Suppose in that, so 5 ohm resistance is not available. You will come back. You never come back. You have to think that if 5 ohm is required, you take 2 ohm, 2 ohm, 1 ohm you can take. Or you can take the 4 ohm and 1 ohm which is available with him. Or if 0.5 is available, take the 10 number of resistors you can take. Suppose 2.5 ohm resistor available, take 2 number of there. Then after taking this one, it is important to connect. The series are like that, remember. The circuit will be 2 types. One is called, different type of circuit we have. One is called the circuit will be, maybe that will be in series. One is in series, or you can say all parallel circuit, or maybe combination, or maybe series plus parallel. The circuit can be done like that. One more thing just to remember, in series connection I told you 4 ohm resistor not available in market, you are bringing 2 ohm, 2 ohm, 1 ohm. or different varieties available of bringing like that. Then we are connecting on your circuit. With two type of connection there in series connection. Remember, suppose in series what to do? Let us see. In series, let a number of resistors are connecting like that. Let remember these are the resistors we are connecting. Okay, like this connected. This is continuity path. It is called R1, R2. This is called Rn. Let it be they are connected by means of a voltage source. Okay. Then remember this voltage source is connected. Here you can see this is the plus and minus. For your safety, you can take a switch also. You may take it here. Then you can take a ammeter. You may take a ammeter like that. Similarly, you take a voltmeter after this one, anything but it. But no need these are. Let you see now. According to V there, let you remember this is the positive polarity. Current always starts from positive polarity, goes like this, comes back to here on these parameters. Here remember what to do. Now how to find the equivalent resistance if number of resistors are connected in series. You know that V is equal to V1 if it is V1, if it is V2, if it is V3, if it is Vn. Then remember, but here remember the current is called I. The same amount of current is flows through these, all these. Same amount of current is flowing because current division occurs in case of series connection, whereas the voltage division occurs in case of series connection. That V1 is drop across this one, V2 will be drop across this two, V3, and Vn like this, the drop is going on. This voltage, total amount of voltage divided into n parts, not equal, depending upon the value of the resistance. Hence, voltage division occurs in case of series connection. Current division does not occur. You have to remember. Accordingly, remember what to do. You have to write down the equation. Now, I is equal to I of R1. Similarly, I of R2 is equal to I of Rn. Where V is equal, you can say V1 plus V2 plus V3 plus Y1 plus Vn. Summation of all, but they are not equal. Then you see, according to Ohm's law, you can write IR is equal to I common. Then you can say R1 plus R2 Y1 plus Rn. What does it mean? Then I should be cancelled both sides. Then R is equal to, we are getting R1 plus R2 plus Y1 Rn. Summation of all resistance. I can say the effective resistance is equal to sum of all resistances. How many is connected there? Simple addition. So the effective one must be greater than the highest one. But in case of, remember, parallel combination, here remember, suppose 100 number of resistors are connected in series connection, each having 100 ohm. What is the effective resistance? You have to simply multiply. 100 should be Rn 100 times, which means 100 into 100 is the ohm. 100 into 100 is the ohm, is called the total resistance in that series connection. So the effective resistance in a series circuit always more than the maximum one. Which is the greater among these R1, R2, from that it is the greatest. Because of, I am telling you, they are on the sum of all the resistances. But whenever you are taking in parallel combination, what to do? On the resistors or conductors are in parallel, then remember you take like that. This is a one more resistor. Let us see like this, number of resistors you can take. Let me see, I am taking like this the connection, continuity path is there. Let you see this is another resistor, R1, R2, R3, Rn. Let you see I am connecting from here to a voltage source. Now remember what happened. You remember here, this plus and minus, there must be a current establishes. V is now going on, current is starting up to this. What happened now remember? The voltage across this one, and Vn. The voltage division does not occur in parallel combination and current division occurs. So that current across this one is called I1, let it be I2, let it be I3, let it be In. So we can see that the voltage always remains same. V is equal to V1 is equal to V3 is equal to Vn, all are same. Where I is equal to, remember, I1 plus I2 going on plus In. Sum of all the current. Because you know that here you have to apply a law. That is called point law or junction law. The total incoming current is equal to outgoing current. Sum of all the incoming current must be equal to sum of outgoing current. Suppose you are coming 10 students, you have to go out 10 students. Then remember that is called the sum of all the incoming current to this point is equal to sum of the outgoing current. We are applying the Kirchhoff current law or point law or junction law like that. Then you see now, here remember we are getting number of loops. Also another law we can apply, that is called Kirchhoff's voltage law. Kirchhoff voltage law applicable to different loop, I can tell you. Then we let you see now. So I is equal to I1 plus I2, like this going on. So how can, what is I? I can say V by R. V by R. What is this one? I can say V by R1. Similarly, V by R2 going on plus V by Rn. So you take the V common. After this one, what happened? If you are taking the V common, then what you are getting? You will get that lastly V cancel from both sides. You will getting R1 plus 1 by R2 plus 1 by Rn. Then the effective resistance or total resistance 1 by of total resistance is equal to sum of all the reciprocal. Then you see now, suppose case 1. Suppose two resistors are connected in the parallel. Then remember like this, suppose two resistors are there. Then what is the effective one? That is called R1, R2. How can you find out? 1 by R is equal to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2. This is equal to, I can say, R is equal to R1, R2 divided by R1 plus R2. Take the 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 is equal to, take the LCM R1, R2, R2 plus R1. Then R is equal to R1, R2 by R1 plus R2 is effective resistance. Here one posting point area. If you are finding the total resistance, this total resistance is less than the minimum one among these two. Compare R1, R2, which is the least one among these two. Which is the least one? That must be less than that. So effective resistance is less than the least done among all the resistors what connected in parallel. If three resistors are similarly connected, you can say, if in case of three, the R is equal to, I can say, R1, R2, R3 divided by, you can say R1, R2 plus R2, R3 plus R3, R1. Followed? This is called, for three resistors connected in parallel, the total resistance will be less than which one? Less than the minimum one. That is called the series and parallel combination. Hence, remember students, I can send you 10 number of questions based on Ohm's law, laws of resistance, and conductance, conductivity, and all this. You have to find there according to the question is given to you. You try to yourself to send it on the WhatsApp and check it. I will confirm how much you are following, and try to tell your all friends to attend this online class on YouTube. Also, in nearby future, within very short, we are going to take a conferencing call, so that is your option and present statement you can come to know. So government, according to government decision, you have to attend all the classes. Have a good day, dear students. Today we have to take it the part 2. This is the chapter 1. If any problems is arising from chapter 1, you are right to ask me questions in the next class also. Thank you very much. Thank you.